Okay, as you'll be aware, Deputy, we are very keen to ensure that we do get appropriate public engagement in there, and that's actually around, I think there's discussions happening at the moment around on the MOU, so how we can actually get that to operate. But I think within the deliberations, Dirk, as the Head of Communications, can give you a bit more of what we're intending.
Yeah, we've pulled together a strategy of how we engage the public on the government plan going forward. We are looking at physical events given the guidelines that are currently in place. One of our focuses is going to be on non-digital audiences. So whilst we go out for public engagement and we want to receive intelligence and data that we can look at in a quantitative sense, we also want to make sure that islanders we're engaging with, many of whom won't have access to electronic devices. So we are looking at working both with the radio stations and with the JP, so that we can put out open-ended questions for people to respond back, either through a template that we'll provide to them, so we can do a question and answer session on the radio, for example, or have a leaflet sort of inlaid inside the JP. Or what we will do is we will open up more of a discussionary forum pages and receive letters back in from the public. We're working with policy officials and Statistics Jersey right now to drill down into what sort of intelligence and data that would give us. But the main philosophy is that we open it up as widely as possible, so that we're not just picking up digital audiences, we're not just picking up children and young people, but also we're picking up the less electronically savvy audiences across the island.
Thank you. And Chief Minister, there were two New Deal packages which were announced, one by Reform Jersey and the other by the Deputy Chief Minister and the External Relations Minister. What consideration have you given to them?
I thought you were going to quote the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, which would have been an interesting political meeting of minds there. The point is that all of these things are being considered in the mix and will be run past our Chief Economist to give us the best advice we can on what's the most appropriate form of economic and financial stimulus. Where we are at present is dealing with there's some very short-term measures we want to take, and as I said at the very beginning, I'm expecting movement on those within about the next 10 days, and we'll make sure we get the briefing to you all on all through scrutiny and states members before it goes public. But that is to try and get some things in place between July and August. But then the longer-term measures, which I think you're referring to, they are in the process, as I understand it, of being evaluated by the economists to see what their impact might be. Apologies for interrupting. Do have to go at almost literally in about 30 seconds. I was wondering if it's possible to you, I think you alluded to sending the question through to us, and perhaps we can do that. Do we want to try one final question? But I do apologise on that front, but that was what we were saying at the very beginning.
We did hear what you said, Chief Minister, thank you. Perhaps you could tell us more about the important business of the all-party parliamentary group. I presume it's the one for the Channel Islands.
It's the one for the Channel Islands. It'll be attended by the obviously Chief Minister of Guernsey, myself, I think representatives from the other islands, and obviously ordinarily we would have been in London attending. I think it's their first virtual one, and there are a number of, I think we're expecting a number of politicians, all of whom generally are friends of the Channel Islands, to be attending.
Very good. Well, we will thank you for your time this afternoon. Perhaps next time we will police much more with greater rigour the length of your answers and those of your team. But thank you all very much for your